Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the future continuous tense WH questions, verb-to-be sentences. Now, this is the last part of the future continuous tense. We are going to look at how we can form the WH questions that contain verb-to-be. Okay, so it means that these questions are verb-to-be questions. As you can remember, in the previous video before this one, we looked at the yes-no questions, verb-to-be sentences. Now we will form the questions that start with who, what, where, when, or how, for example. Without any waste of time, let us get started with the lesson. So, the future continuous tense WH question verb-to-be sentence. We need to look at the structure. How do we structure the sentences in the future continuous tense WH question verb-to-be sentence? The structure is as follows. So first, we need the WH question. As you can remember, the WH question can be who, can be what, can be when, can be why, can be where. Okay? And after that, we need will. After will, we then put the subject. And after the subject, we need be. Now, as we've been saying, right, that with the future continuous tense verb-to-be sentences, we replace being with getting, feeling, or becoming. And then after that, we end off the sentence with other words. Okay, so just to recap, before we start doing some exercises, let us recap the structure one more time. So we need the WH question. After the WH question, we then put will. After will, we need the subject. After the subject, we put be. After be, we then use getting, feeling, or becoming, depending on the message that we are trying to convey with our sentence. And then lastly, we need other words. So this is the structure of the future continuous tense WH question verb-to-be sentence. You now understand the structure. We can therefore apply the structure and the rules associated with it by doing some exercises in the following slide. So the exercise states the following. We need to change the following sentences into the future continuous tense WH question verb-to-be sentences. So we should change these sentences into the future continuous tense WH question verb-to-be sentences. Let us start with the first sentence. It goes as follows. Why get the kids get noisy at 12 p.m. So this is our WH question. Okay. And then we need to put will here to indicate that it is the future. And after the subject, we put be. And then get needs to end with an ing. So the correct sentence therefore becomes, why will the kids be getting noisy at 12 p.m.? Number 2. When this guy feel angry? We have the WH question here, when, which is looking for the time or the day. we need to put will after the WH question. And after the subject, we put be. And feel needs to end with an ing. The correct full WH question therefore becomes, when will this guy be feeling angry? Number 3, where, gap, might, gap, feel happy. We have the WH question here, where, which is looking for the place, the location. We put will after the WH question. And after the subject, we put be. And feel needs to end with an ing to make it a gerund. The correct WH question is therefore, where will Mike be feeling happy? Next up, how get I get cautious when I walk in the streets alone at night? After the WH question, how, which is looking for the method, the strategy, the system, we put will, and after the subject, we use be, and get needs to end with an ing to make it a gerund. The correct sentence thus become, how will I be getting cautious when I walk in the streets alone at night? 5. Why we get extremely patient. We've got a WH question here, why, which is looking for the reason. We put will after the WH question, and after the subject, we put be, and get needs to end with an ing to make it a gerund, so that the sentence could be a WH question, verb-to-be sentence in the future continuous tense. The correct question is, therefore, why will we be getting extremely patient? 6. How they get friendly. We need to put will here after the WH question, and after the subject, we put be, and our get needs to end with an ing. The correct sentence, therefore, becomes, how will they be getting friendly? Next, who can feel excited over this? Okay, so we've got the WH question here, who. We need to put will after the WH question, and after the subject, we put be, and then of course, feel needs to end with an ing. The correct question is, who can be feeling excited over this week? Last example, why Sylvia and I get close to each other as friends at the end of this camp. We put will after the WH question, and after the subject, we put be, and get needs to end with an ing. The correct sentence therefore becomes, why will Sylvia and I be getting close to each other as friends at the end of this camp? All right, so this is the end of the WH questions, verb-to-be sentences in the future continuous tense. This also marks the end of the chapter on the future continuous tense. In the next video that I will upload after this one, I will explain the present perfect tense. Please make sure that you watch out for that video. With regards to this part over here, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me in this class. I hope you enjoyed the class as much as I did. And I am looking forward to seeing you in the next class. For now, it is a goodbye from me. Take care and goodbye.